Hey guys, welcome to Miss Marie TV. On today's episode of One Man versus House, today I am going to convert a side table, accent table, whatever you want to call it, to a desk for my master bedroom. Now this table has been in Dumar's family forever. His dad gave it to him. It's been sitting in our house out on the back porch for about 5 years, and I was like, hey, we should do something with it. So because our dresser that is in our master bedroom is kind of that gray wash color, our bed is like a grayish color. That's kind of like the theme we're going with, a gray, white, and whatever accent color. I decided that I'm going to paint it this color, the grayish color. So keep watching if you want to see the process. As you can see, I'm actually, after I used the machine to sand, I actually used some of the sandpaper with my hand, and I sand up into certain areas that I couldn't get with the sander itself. And also because this whole table isn't completely all the way wood, I was afraid that some areas, which I actually did make that mistake a couple of times, sanding too deep and it wasn't the wood. So I was like, oh Jesus, oh my gosh. So I would sand to a certain bit, and then I would use my hand and the sandpaper to sand it. And also I didn't want it just a strip. Like I didn't want to like strip it all the way. So some of it would leave like its grooves, its grains or whatnot, because the stain, I wanted to have that like weathered type of look. So that is another reason why I use my hand to sand the rest of it when I got done using the machine. Also, I used the 120 grit paper as well because I wanted to also make sure that it was smooth. I didn't want any splinters, no nothing, when I touched it. So I went over it with my hand in the 120 grit sandpaper. All right, so far, y'all, this is like about to be the death of me, but I did get a sander that's hopefully can get that, and the insides there. All right, I'm gonna finish this. But y'all, how many sanders does it take to get this? Apparently that one was trash. Apparently that one was trash. Apparently that one's gonna work. Apparently this one gonna work. But we shall see. We shall see. I didn't realize that I would actually need 3 types of sanders for this table because it's so many nooks and crannies to this table. I really thought this was going to be an easy sand it down, stain it, keep it moving. It was not as easy as I thought, y'all. Like, it took me 2 days to finish it because I got so frustrated because I will get to a point where I think it's done, and then I will flip it over to the side and realize, oh, I got the inside of this, or oh, I have that side of that, or oh, whatever. And I just got so frustrated, and I was just like, I'm done. So finally, Dumars, he would come up and check, like when I wasn't done, he would come and see, you know, how far I was along with this project. And he came up one day, he was like, look, I got you a sander that's going to help you get the rest of that stuff off. And so got me this little hand sander that it's like a triangle, and it allowed me to get into the nooks and crannies of this. So you'll see most of this video is about sanding because it took me 2 days to sand it. Now painting, painting did not take me any time to paint, but the sanding, oh my gosh, y'all, it was a hot trash mess. See, this is sander number 2 and 3. As you can tell, this is when I was able to get all into those nooks and crannies because of that small hand sander. Like, that actually saved the day because I had finished sanding the whole thing down. I was like, man, this is just gonna have some brown points in it where it's just gonna look brown in certain areas. And he was like, no, I got the perfect sander. So he went out, got me the sandpaper, and y'all, it was so amazing. It helped me go so much faster, y'all, because I was like, oh. And actually with that sander, I ended up taking it a little bit further as far as stripping down the table, because I was like, oh, I like the lighter look. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit lighter because I'm sanding every single thing off of this table now, because now I'm like, I want it to be perfect now. Okay, so now I have put the first coat of stain and I'm like, oh, okay, I like it, but I'm not too sure. So I put it on, I wipe it off, and as you can see in some of the areas where I kind of sanded too much, some areas are darker than others, but it all worked out, y'all. I realized there were some other places that needed to be sanded, so I had to stop, sand some other stuff down, make sure it was clean and everything. I wiped it all the way down. I made sure that everything was screwed in because some of the screws had come loose, and so I had to make sure that was screwed. I realized that there were some spots that I had missed. Like, now that I see what the color gray is going to come out with, like, I'm sold. I'm very much sold on this. So the instructions said to, you know, put the stain on, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then wipe it off. But because I knew I did not want it to be so gray, as soon as I put it on, I did like maybe a leg and like a bar or something. Then I will wipe it off. And because I wasn't looking for a true gray color table. I wanted that gray whitewash. So I wiped it off like very heavily with the towel. Basically, we're gonna set this table in front of our bedroom, right underneath the TV, because that's just how we wanted to go with that whole hotel vibe. You know, when you walk into a hotel room, the bed is like to your right, and then to the left is the table with the TV up top, so that, you know, if you're in the bed, the person who is at the table, their head is not blocking you. So that's kind of the idea that we were going with. And now it is complete. I didn't finish recording because I think like my dad called me, y'all, during this quarantine thing. He got too much time on his hands, so we talk so much more. But I love my dad, so you know, hey. So I had to stop recording because it was either I record or I talk to my dad. And then during these times, talking to your dad is more important than recording. So thank you for watching this episode of One Man versus House. There will be another episode where we get to see the bathroom, the dressing room, and so many more things that we're doing to this building, y'all. So don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share. Do not forget to like. And I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.